Hey, it's Rav and welcome to Everyday Investor, the hottest investment show in the world. That's right, I said it. I don't care who knows it. This show is designed to help us grow our money. You see, what happens often is we take our time, we go to work 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, we get a paycheck, and that allows us to eat, to be able to provide. Let me say that again. We take our time, we go to work, which is a good thing. It's a blessing to be able to work. I think we're created to work. We get money from that work, and then we're able to eat. We're able to provide for our family. But imagine a life where money could make you money. You could work a little less if you wanted to, and you had more time for the things that matter most in your life, whether it's spending that time with family, friends, engaging in a purpose, a benevolent purpose that's greater than yourself. That is what the Everyday Investor TV show is all about. So grateful that you could join us. Today, it's just me, and I'm going to be teaching you, giving answers to the many questions that I've received over the 17 years, that's right, over the 17 years of being on TV. Don't go anywhere. Everyday Investor continues in a moment.
Hi, it's Darren Mitchell from Control and Compound. If you're a real estate investor or business owner, you know the cookie cutter approach to financial planning doesn't work for you. You've got to be in control of your money. You've got to save and store your money differently than other people. At Control and Compound, we are the wealth coaches for real estate investors and business owners. We show you how to save your money, grow your money tax-free, multiply your money tax-free, and spend it tax-free. To learn more, please check us out at controlandcompound.com/everyday investor, where viewers of this show get a complimentary education session.
Hey, it's Rav. A few years back, I learned about trading stock options by taking the Theta Trading course. My son, my friends, myself, all of us benefited immensely by applying their strategies, and I want you to have that same benefit by taking their course as well. I am not receiving any monetary benefit whatsoever by telling you this. It's just that, as you know, I believe that knowledge mitigates risk. Visit their site to find out more.
Terry Lynn Legault here from Canada's Mortgage Choice. Did you know before I was a mortgage agent that I actually worked for the government as an employee? And one of the most things that was precious to me was my pension plan. And when I left, I discovered that I would have about $15,000 a year in my current pension. But what I discovered is if I transferred it and self-directed it, I could triple the amount of money that I could have in retirement. If this is something that you would be looking to do, call us today at Canada's Mortgage Choice.
All right, here we are, Rav Toor, yours truly. Lots and lots of questions over the years. If you know me, I am a bit of a declutter freak. I am a man of simplicity, not because I'm so wise, but my brain can't handle too much. So what people ask me often is, what is the kind of the profile of the ideal investor? And we can invest in many things in life. It doesn't just have to be monetarily speaking. I mean, if you are a husband or a wife, I think that we should invest in learning how to be a great spouse. If you're a parent, invest, read, learn how to be a great parent. And the same thing goes for really anything in life. We all need to be coached. If your coach doesn't have a coach, run real fast. If your mentor is not being mentored, run real fast. But I will say this when it comes to investing in anything or doing anything. I always say that there's two types of people in this world. So when we see this, two types, the first person, they know what to do. Okay, so this person, They know what to do. They've been taught, they've been nurtured. They're a bit of a investor seminar junkies. They're, it's that kind of guy. It's kind of like, well, for me, for example, I used to, in high school, I used to hang out with a bunch of guys, and a lot of them went to the Olympics for wrestling. And so I know about, proteins and fats and carbohydrates, and stay away from the starch and the pasta, the breads, the potatoes. It increases your insulin and not good for diabetes if you're flirting with that, and so on and so forth. But can you catch me eating a piece of bread? Yes, and probably too often. So I know what to do. People know what to do. They know A to Z, if you will, but are they successful? The other person, the person that really inspires me, they do what they know. And so this is the mistake. They just might know A, B, C. And so this is the mistake a lot of people make with most things in life. They think that they need to be the best educated investor before they pull the trigger. Listen, my first investment property with my mom, I was 16 years old, Kingston, Ontario. I'm now 50 years old, turning 50. Can you believe it? I can't. So 34, 35 years later, and I am still learning many things, and will continue to learn many things when it comes to investing. If you're waiting to know everything, you will get stuck. You will procrastinate. You'll never kind of get into the game. And this show is all about helping us grow our money. So two types of people. The first person, they know what to do, but rarely they do it. The second person, they just do what they know, and it might be limited, but because they're doing, if you will, they understand. My greatest hero, Jesus himself, hold on to my teachings, then you will know the truth. Really what it means is put into practice all the things that you learn, and then you'll see the fruit of it. You'll say, wow, I didn't realize this. Yeah, imagine that. When I learned, Rav, be quick to listen, slow to speak. It's amazing if I put that into practice, how great my relationship is with that person. In the same way, it's not about education. That puffs up. It's about practical application. You have to do what you know. So that's the first thing that I would say when it comes to the investor, kind of profile. The second thing that I would say to you, if you're wondering, a question that I get often is, Rav, what is the best investment? We talk about mindset. Mindset is pull the trigger. I just explained it. The second thing they ask me is, Rav, out of all the investments, because I've done pretty much every single one when it comes to real estate, never lost a dollar. I've invested in other things, and yes, I've lost because it wasn't what I didn't know what I was doing, not even a little bit, and I've lost money. But when it comes to real estate, never. So then people ask me, Rav, what is the best investment? Well, that depends. Best investment depends, and I hate to sound like the lawyer who says it depends, but it really does. It comes down to, what do you want? What do you want? Are you looking for cash flow? Are you looking for passive money that comes into you every single month? Are you looking for that cash flow? Are you looking for cash flow and you're active, meaning you're sweating to make that money come in? Or are you looking just to grow your money, capital appreciation? You want to take your dollar, turn it into $2 in 3-4 years. And if you do you just want to write a check for that? Or do you want to work for it? So again, do you want cash flow? Or do you want to grow your capital? Now, with cash flow, do you want to sweat write a check? Do you want to sweat? Or do you want to write a check? And then, of course, there's a lot of you that says, Rav, I want both. You can do that as well. Or you can have both, and the same question applies. Do you want to sweat? Or do you want to write a check? So here we go. Already you say, Rav, what's the best investment? I've just kind of showed you 6, right? Do you want cash flow and cash flow only? Yes, Rav, I do. Okay, do you want to sweat for it? Or do you want just simply to write a check? Do you want to grow your capital? Yes, Rav, I do. Okay, do you want to sweat? Do you want to flip that house? Because that's how you'll grow your money. Or do you just want to write a check to the guy who's flipping a house, but he needs money? Or do you want a little bit of both? Do you want to get into a rent-to-own situation where you're just writing, you're getting both cash flow and growing your capital? And in a rent-to-own, do you want to look for that, or do you want to just write a check to, my friends, for example, Neil and Rachel at Clover Properties, where I can just write them a check and I can have some cash flow and grow my capital? So these are the different things that you've got to ask yourself. When you ask me, Rav, what's the best investment? I say to you, what are you looking for? You see, and why that's important is I can take $100,000 and I can go lend it out, let's just say at 10%. Well, that's great. I'm making $10,000 a year. I'm making, just over $800 a month. And so if I need that $800 a month, it'll, be life-changing, or it can help me, or I go on a vacation, then that's awesome. But know that the $100,000, which I'll get back at the end of the year, if it's a 1-year term, that $100,000 will never grow. So let me say that again. I'm going to lend $100,000 through an investment. I'm going to receive 10%, $10,000 over a year period, $800 and change a month. And that's fantastic. When it's all said and done, I would have made 10 grand, but my 100 grand never grew. Or I can invest that $100,000, let's say in land development, or investing in apartment buildings, or still writing a check. And so I invest that $100,000. There's no money coming in because they're using that 100 to build the widget, if you will. That's all land development, real estate development is. It's just building a product. And so they better not be giving me money, because where are they getting it from, right? I give them the money. It's going to take them 3-4 years for that to complete, but I'll get my $100,000 back, and I may get another $100,000 back. So now after 3, 4, 5 years, I have $200,000. So that's growing the capital versus getting cash flow. And then you can just buy an investment property, do a rent to own, whatever the case is, where someone's paying down your mortgage, the property's appreciating in value, and you're getting a few bucks of cash flow, so you can get both. For me, I do this TV show, there's sponsorship, there's things like that. I don't really need any cash flow, but I do want to grow my money. And you may be in the same position. You may not want the cash flow, but you want to grow your money. Then, let's say when you're all said and done, you have $1 million. Now you can lend that out at the same 10%, and now you're getting $100,000 a year, and that may be great for your retirement. So, Rav, what's the best investment for me? Depends. What are you looking for? The next thing that people ask me often is, Rav, what investment is the one that has the least amount of risk? What investment has the least amount of risk? Well, that's not really the best question to ask. What you should be asking is, what investment has the least amount of risk, but still can give me the greatest return on that investment? Because if you just, least amount of risk, give me your dollar and I will give it back to you in a year, promise, with interest, maybe 1 penny. So if you want to give me $1, I'll give it back to you at $1.01. That's not really, it's pretty risk-free, but that's not really what you're trying to ask. You're asking, How can I make money and mitigate risk? Well, let's take a quick break. I'll answer that question when we come back. Everyday Investor continues in a moment.
Hey there, it's Rachel Oliver, also known as the Cash Flow Queen. Join me, Rav, and 5 other investment experts as we teach you different proven strategies on how you can grow your money in any economy. See you at the Everyday Investor Summit.
Mortgage world has changed. Has your advice? Are you looking for a modern approach to your mortgage planning process? Advice tailored to your unique, ever-changing circumstances? Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, purchasing, or refinancing, the Kyle Ford Mortgage team works with individuals and companies to custom tailor the right mortgage product for you. Working with a wide selection of lenders, we're here to serve our clients and help them achieve their real estate and retirement goals. Contact the Kyle Ford Mortgage team today, Canada's mortgage choice.
So you're hearing about these infinite banking policies, like is that the same type of insurance I have now? Well, let me give you some math. In Canada, there's over 10,000 different insurance products we can choose from, 10,000. And the number of those products that work for properly structured infinite banking, 4. We have 4 companies that each offer one product that we can use for infinite banking. So it's a very specialized type of high cash value life insurance. So if you hear someone saying, oh yeah, I think I have one of those or I can do that, chances are you probably don't have one and they can't do it. Very specialized, 4 out of over 10,000 products. Deal with an expert. You want to learn more, talk to one of our wealth coaches in a free complimentary education session just for everyday investor watchers, viewers. Check us out, controllandcompound.com/everyday investor.
Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. So we were talking about risk. The question I get is, Rav, what's the investment with the least amount of risk? Well, again, I could tell you to go put it in a guaranteed, income certificate. I think that's what it means, the GIC with a bank, but you're not really going to make any money. So the question, really, what you're asking is, how do I get a great return on investment, but also mitigate risk? The best way to mitigate risk is twofold. Knowledge mitigates risk. Let me say that again. The more you know, that will help to mitigate risk. Now, at the top of the show, I said the most successful people are not the ones who know what to do. They do what they simply know. So I don't want you to, get trapped in any kind of educational quicksand. You don't need to know everything, but you do need to know a little bit. You do need to be mentored, join some sort of group. There's my friends at Keyspire, Rain, different people that are having different meetups. And so educate yourself, because education, knowledge, it mitigates risk. And then also it breeds confidence. Knowledge, education, it's going to breed confidence to be able to let you do what you need to do. So for example, we had some trees cut in the backyard, dead trees that were cut down, big, huge poplars, and they only last like 35, 40 years. And so the poplars weren't popular anymore, if you know what I'm saying. So we needed to cut those down. And I looked at these guys with their chainsaws, and I said, you know what? There's a great example. That chainsaw in my hands would probably, amputate me because I have no knowledge. I have no idea how to handle a chainsaw. But in their hands, 1, 2, Mr. Magoo, all done, they were gone. And, it seemed like it was easy peasy. Well, it was easy peasy because they have knowledge. All right, I don't want to beat a dead horse on that one. So another question I get is, people say, Rav, how do I know I'm going to have enough money to retire? And so that's a great question. And I ask them to work backwards. How much money do you need to live in any given month? So for example, as we were talking about at the top of the show, let's say you say, I need, $8,000 per month to eat. Okay, you need $8,000 a month to live. that's what you want in your retirement. You may not need that. There's many places in this great nation of ours where I don't think you will need that much, but let's just say you want $8,000 a month. Okay, so you have to work backwards. So $8,000 a month. So what do I need to make in a year? So 8,000 times 12 months equals 96K. Okay, so we'll just round that up to $100,000. So in retirement, you need $100,000 a year to be able to live. Now, of course, these are gross numbers. We're not, you obviously, to live in this great country of ours. We pay tax, but we won't talk about this on this show because we only have 22 minutes, something like that. All right, so $8,000 a month, that means we need $100,000 a year. If you've been watching this show, then you know that you can make 10% all day long cash flow, anywhere from 8 to 12%, without much risk if you know what you're doing, simply by writing a check. So my math tells me that if I have $1 million and I get 10% on that $1 million in a year, then that is going to give me my $100,000 a year, and that $100,000 a year is going to give me my $8,000 a month. So I hope I didn't scare you there, but that's just the reality. And so this $8,000 can come from CPP, if you're in Ontario, from OAS, Old Age Security, Canada Pension Plan, maybe a work pension. But if you don't have any of that, it also can come from real estate or a combination, of both. And so that, therefore, the best time to invest in real estate or stock options, as I've gotten familiar with in the last year or two, the best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time to invest is today. This is how we make money investing. Work backwards so you know and can feel confident. In the beginning, it's kind of like, I don't want to go to the doctor because I'm afraid I'm going to find out something that I don't want to find out. Yeah, I get it. I can have a little bit of that. I'm a bit OCD myself, but that's kind of foolish, right? That's kind of stupid. It's like, and the same thing goes for retirement. Yeah, I don't want to look at what I'm going to look like when I have to retire. And it might be before the age 65, 70. You might get knocked out. 6 years ago, at tender age of 44 years old, I had a neuro breakdown and I couldn't speak. I couldn't go on stages. I couldn't be on TV for, a period of time until I got healthy and started making some changes. And, so what happens if that happens to you? And so we've got to be smart. Go to the doctor, get your blood work done, find out what's going on. Go to a financial advisor, open it all up and see how much money will I have when I can no longer work. That is wise, that is prudent. So, a lot of people say to me, Rav, you talk often about making 25%, annualized returns, just buying real estate. And, people don't believe me, and it's just because they haven't really done the homework. So if you were just to buy even just a house, let's just look at a single, dwelling, a little 2-story house. And again, it doesn't have to be in your own backyard. It just invest where the numbers work, invest where the numbers make sense, where you can get, a healthy ROI. So we buy this for, I don't know, let's call it, even $500,000. Okay, so we're going to buy this property for $500K. If you're an investor right now, you need 20% down on this. So 20% down payment, maybe some closing costs, but let's just say you're in for $100K. Okay, so we're buying a $500,000 property. We are in for $100,000. Well, we can make money just 3 ways. I mean, this is a turnkey property, meaning you just turn the key and you move in and go to IKEA, buy a couple of couches, and you're all set. So that's all you have to do. here, it's a turnkey property, so there's no renovations, there's none of that. So you're gonna make money on this three ways. It's gonna increase in value, right? Real estate goes up and down upwards, like a yo-yo on an escalator, I always say. So it's gonna increase in value. You're gonna get a little bit of cash flow, and then you've got a tenant or two, depending if there's a basement apartment in there, that's gonna pay down your mortgage. So we're gonna make money three ways on this property. It's gonna increase in value, there'll be a few bucks of cash flow, and someone's gonna pay down your mortgage. So let's use increase in value conservatively of 3%. So 3%, next year, this property is not worth $500,000, it's worth $515,000, right? 3% of $500,000, $15,000. So now it's worth $515,000. So I just made $15K. Not bad. It's not liquid. I can't, go to the Hasty Market and buy chocolate milk with it right now, but it's in the house. It's increased in value. So already, if I put in $100,000 and I've already made $15K, 15% return on investment. Not bad, right? Not bad. Okay, so cash flow. Rav, you don't really get much cash flow these days. Okay, no problem. Can we get 250 bucks maybe? Maybe we can get 250 bucks cash flow per month. That equals 3K per year. So I'm making $3,000 cash flow per year. So now $315, $18,000 on my 100, I have made 18% so far. And I can take that $3,000, I can go to Hasty Market and I can buy chocolate milk for me and my friends. That's the kind of guy I am. All right, now here's the meat of real estate. Here's the meat of it. If this house in 25 years didn't increase in value, I wouldn't care. I mean, I'd care, but I wouldn't care. If there was no cash flow, I wouldn't care. I'd care, but I wouldn't care. The meat of the deal is right here. Debt reduction. People paying down my mortgage. Because remember, I put $100,000 down, I bought it for $500,000. So now I have a $400,000 mortgage. Okay? $400,000 mortgage. Rates are crazy these days. You can get a mortgage at 1.5%, 2%. But I won't even say that. Let's say we pay about, I don't know, $400 for every $100,000 I borrow. So I'm paying $400 for every $100,000 I borrow. I'm borrowing $400,000. So my mortgage payment is $1,600 a month. Okay? $1,600 a month is my mortgage payment. Most of that in the beginning goes to the garbage. It's called interest, and I just keep a little bit. So let's out of that $1,400 a month, I keep like $400 or something. Give me even $500. So on the $1,400 that I pay, I keep $500. It goes under the mattress. It's the principal. It's the mortgage pay down, if you will. Okay. So $500 a month equals $6K. So somebody's giving me $6,000 pay down mortgage, cash flow is 3, appreciation is 15. I am making $24K on my 100. That's how you make 24, 25, 26% a year rather, on your money, simply just by buying an investment property. All right, time's up. Thank you guys for watching the show. Without you watching the show, we wouldn't have one. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Honey, I love you. I'll be home soon. Bye, everyone.
Mortgage world has changed. Has your advice? Are you looking for a modern approach to your mortgage planning process? Advice tailored to your unique, ever-changing circumstances? Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, purchasing, or refinancing, the Kyle Ford Mortgage team works with individuals and companies to custom tailor the right mortgage product for you. Working with a wide selection of lenders, we're here to serve our clients and help them achieve their real estate and retirement goals. Contact the Kyle Ford Mortgage team today, Canada's mortgage choice.